We are sailing into another episode of Build the Titanic, the ship, the legend, today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Build the Titanic. So I am really enjoying this build. We are moving into issues 7 and 8 already. This has been, so far, a fairly easy build, and I'm really enjoying it. So today we are going to be adding some more details to the engine. We've got some more hull pieces, and then we return to the forecastle that we started in episode 1, and we'll be adding some additional details to that piece. So let's get into the build. Here we are in issue 7. So they're talking about the engines here, which is cool because we've been working on those. All right, looks like we're getting more parts for the engine. And some more hull pieces, it looks like. So let's bring over the parts pack. And again, you're looking for 007. So we have a catwalk, a base for the engine, a hull joining plate, and then a bunch of screws. So the hull joining plate and the catwalk are plastic. This metal, this base for the engine is metal. All right, so we need to bring back the engine that we have been working on. So the first thing we want is the catwalk. So these are ladders. And this is going to go just like so. And that is going to sit on there. So there are some locators, and then on the outer holes, we're going to use EM screws. All right, now we're going to fit the base over the catwalk. So this is going to fit on just like so. And those are going in with AP screws. It's our first appearance of the AP screws. And then now, in these remaining holes, we have here, 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 and here. Those are going in with FM screws. All right. All right, and now we're going to bring back the hull piece. And we are going to be placing, this is the one that this is the port side that we worked on in issue 4. So we're going to turn this over and we're going to place this just like so. And this is going to get screwed in from this side with some BP screws. All right, that is in there. And now we can take the plate that we had and we can put that right in there. It does say to put a little super glue, so let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to go right in there. So that is what we have for this issue. Set this aside and move on to issue 8. This talks about the band. Remember in the movie how they played until the very end? All right, so it looks like we're going to be working on the Forecastle, which we worked on all the way back in issue number 1. And we will be working on the hull some more. So let me set the parts aside that we worked on last issue. The parts pack for number 8. Again, remember, looking for that number 8. Haha! Yes, always make sure to check the boxes. Alright, so we've got a bow support. Alright, we've got a couple of winches. We've got a couple of cleats. We got the valves for winches. And then we have the anchor chain guide. And then the port top strip of Forecastle hull. This is metal. All of these other parts are plastic. So we need to bring back the Forecastle. And the first part we're going to be locating is the anchor chain guide. Oh, just kidding. We're going to take the winches first. And they are going to be going... Whoops. Right in there. Now remember, be gentle and kind of wiggle them in a little bit. And then this is going right on top, and there is a little locator. So that's going to go right in there. And it's asking us to glue, put a little glue on these guides. So I'm going to do that. Let me grab my glue here. And let me get my tweezers so I can lift this up a little. So we just want to all right, and then we're going to actually screw this in from the other side with a CP screw. All right, there we go. Then our cleats are going to go on either side. Like so. Oops. Maybe easier with the tweezer. Just to set that in there. There we go. And then just push that down. Perfect. Okay, now for the little tricky part, because these little pieces, I mean, they are teeny tiny. They're going to go behind these little steam valves that we put in. And they have a little notch on the top. And let's see, they have this oriented this way. So we're going to put the first one right there. And then the other one is going to go right beside it. And just wiggle that into place. Okay, perfect. All right, now we can set this aside. And we need to bring over the porthole assembly that we used in the previous issue. And we're going to orient that this way. And this is going to go right here, like so. Now you want to make sure that you have this in, because there is a little lip on here. So this going in with two BP screws. So let me get those loaded up really quick. I'm going to get this started, and then I'm going to make sure that I've got this lined up. Again, it's this front piece. That I want to make sure I have lined up. Okay, excellent. And then now we just wiggle this into place. Like so. Perfect. All right. And that is what we have. We're not doing anything with this piece at the moment. And then there's our forecastle. So that is all we are doing for issue 8. So let's move on to the LEGO side. All right, if you remember from the last episode, we attached this triangular piece and then this piece, which I'm sure is probably going to hold some rigging at some point. So in today's episode, we are working on steps 46 through 60. All right, that is the end of step number 60. So we definitely added some more bulk up here. We added this deck here, this piece up in here. So we are getting sort of the front of the ship all put together. So that is it for the LEGO portion for this episode. Okay, to recap, episode 4. This is the LEGO version, and I'll bring it over the part work that we have been working on. Okay. So we worked on these pieces in issues 7 and 8. We got this piece attached. We got this plate in here. We got some additional details attached to the forecastle. And then we attached our engine base and our catwalk. And then over on the LEGO side, we continued bulking up this upper section here. We got this decking here, and then this component, and this part up here in the front. So that is it for episode number 4. Wow, the forecastle is looking really good. We added some more details there. I still don't think we're done with that. There's still some available areas to put other details, so I'm sure we'll revisit that in the future. And then again, that hull piece, the hull pieces are coming right along, and so's the engine. I'm not sure on the engine if we're done with that, and we're going to just put it aside for a while because we've been working on the front, the bow of the boat. The engine goes toward the back, like way far away from the hull pieces that we are building. So that might be like as typical in these builds. You sort of build a component in the beginning and then you put it away and you don't see it for like another 30 or 40 issues. So that may be the case with the engine. Same for the Forecastle too. I'm not sure when we'll be finishing that up and attaching it to the hull. But I think in the next episode, we will be putting those two hull pieces together. So that will be very interesting. And I think we should be getting close to cracking open that light kit for the LEGO version. So definitely stay tuned for that. So let's get into our summary really quick. For the scale model, we completed 9 steps and used 12 parts. For the LEGO version, we completed 35 steps and used 86 parts. So total to date, we have 41 steps and 87 parts on the scale model. And on the LEGO side, we have completed 126 steps and used 406 parts. So yeah, way more steps, way more parts on the LEGO side for sure. So like I said, I think the next episode we're going to be joining those hull pieces in the scale model version and cracking into the light kit for the LEGO version. So definitely hit that notification bell so you're notified. Subscribe, like the videos, share them. It really helps the channel. Like I have said before, we're trying to hit some subscriber milestones. So our next milestone is 500, and we'll be giving away a Star Wars AT-AT. It's about 1,000-piece set, maybe 1,500 pieces, so a pretty decent set. So if you're into that, help get the word out and get those subscribers up. And until we see each other again, be sure to tune in Saturday for another Batmobile episode, and tune in on Tuesday for that awesome Optimus Prime build. And until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.